Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Mama Angel's Kitchen. Yes, that's right. You heard correctly, Mama Angel's Kitchen. There has been a name change. I changed the name because it's just easier to find me that way. There were several Angel's Kitchens, and my kids always call it Mama's Kitchen, Mama A, and what's Mama doing in the kitchen? So, Mama Angel's Kitchen just fits, and now it has stuck. So the new name of this channel is Mama Angel's Kitchen, but I promise you the same fantastic food will be coming out of this kitchen. Tonight, y'all, we have a baked ziti we're making for dinner. And let's get right into the ingredients that we're going to need. I've got it all lined up here, and that's what you're looking at here. Got quite a few seasonings. I'm going to go over that in just a moment. But of course, the star of the show, we've got our ground turkey. This is a 85-15. So I like a little bit of fat in there because it's a flavor, of course. All right, so we've got our ground turkey. We, of course, have the ziti. That's a pound of our baked ziti, or our ziti noodles. And I'll use probably this whole thing. Well, I'll let you know there. I've got 3 different cheeses here. This is mozzarella. I don't know if you can see it here. There we go. This is mozzarella. Then we've got pepper jack. And over here, this is just a Colby Jack. So I have shredded my own cheese. Of course, I just think it melts better if you shred your own. But, if you can't be bothered, go ahead and get it already shredded for you. That's okay. We're going to need 1 egg. So I've just got 1 large egg. This right here, y'all, is homemade spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, red sauce, whatever you call it. I do have a video out just for red sauce, showing you exactly how I make this sauce. Please go ahead and check that video out because it is delicious. We're going to need some cottage cheese, that's small curd. I've got some ricotta cheese. I've got a little sour cream. And this right here is about 2 garlic cloves already chopped up. Then here we've got some celery. And I've got just 2 half stalks there. But they've got the tops on them, which I really like. You get a lot of flavor from those tops. I've got a couple of bell peppers here. I've got 3 different ones. And I'll use a little bit of each of them. I won't use the whole pepper. But I like the different flavors that you get from different peppers. And then we've got 1 small, well, maybe medium size, sweet Valdelia onion. And I probably will use that entire onion. We'll see on that. Spices we're going to use. Like I said, I've got a medley of spices here because I want to dress up my red sauce. When I make that red sauce, I make it fairly plain. It has some seasoning, but it's fairly plain because I want to be able to season up the dish that I'm making it for. And tonight it's a pasta sauce, so baked ziti, so like you would do your spaghettis. Anyway, the seasonings that we're going to be using here, we've got our usual suspects, okay? We've got our salt and pepper, sazion, garlic, and onion powder. Standard seasonings that I use in just about everything. Now, just for this pasta sauce that I'm making, I brought out, we've got some ground coriander. And best friend to coriander is cumin. Those 2 are best friends. They love being with each other. We've got some oregano. We've got some basil, some Old Bay, some paprika, and then some chili powder. All right, these are the spices that we need. I'm going to meet you over at my cutting board, and we're going to get chopped up, or get these veggies here chopped up and get them sauteing, and then get our meat on. Actually, I may probably go ahead and throw the seasonings on the meat. Let that seasoning soak into that meat first, And then I'll meet you at my chopping board because I like the seasonings to sit in that meat for a little bit, for at least, 10, 12 minutes. All right, guys, I'll be back at the chopping board. Alright, guys, welcome back. Alright, hopefully we have a pretty good shot there. It's a little bit better. At the stove here, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in the skillet. And I do mean a little, just a little bit there. And I'm just going to start with my garlic. Okay, I'm going to get the garlic in there and get this oil seasoned up. And I just love starting that way. Get the cold oil, although it's not all that cold. You see it's already starting to sizzle. But get it in there and get that garlic started, and it just flavors up the oil. And if you get that oil started out nice and flavored, then that flavor is going to go through all out your meat, which will then in return go throughout your sauce. And of course then throughout the entire dish. All right, like I said, it's going already. It smells, that's what you want to do. Just cook it until you start to smell the garlic. When that garlic gets fragrant, then you want to go ahead and drop something else in to stop the cooking process, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start with my peppers, all three of them. Go ahead and throw them right on in there. Get them mixing in with that garlic, so my garlic won't burn. And now my onions. And I only ended up using just a little over half of that onion. I didn't use the whole thing. It actually turned out to be a whole lot bigger than I expected. And then that celery. And I'm going to go ahead and use it all. There we go. Alright guys, we get this sauteing up. Turn the fire down a little bit. Turn the fire on here. I've just got a pot of water here. Get it boiling for our pasta. So you can get that cooking. Alright, this is going to go just for a couple of minutes. I like to get it started before I put any seasoning into it. And the only seasoning I'm going to put into these veggies is going to be salt and pepper. That's it. All the other seasoning will come from everything else. Alright, so I'm going to let this go for a couple of minutes. I'll add some salt and pepper, and then I'll come back just when it's time to put our meat in, because I'll add our meat to the sauteed veggies. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, we're back, and our veggies I've sauteed up just beautifully here. I have added salt and pepper. So now we're going to go ahead and drop our meat in. Now what I did off camera is I added some of the cumin and some of the coriander to the meat so that it can soak down into that protein before cooking. Other than that, we are right back on track. I'm going to go ahead and get this meat sauteed up. Now a couple of reasons why I am going to switch utensils here. Alright, there we go. A couple of reasons why I like to let my meat sit out with the seasoning on it. Number one is because it gives it a chance to flavor that meat, and you want that. Number two is you want to give your meat a chance to come up to room temperature, or at least take that chill off of it before you put it into your hot oven, the hot grill, anything hot. Before you start cooking your protein, you want to give that protein a chance to take off that chill. Because if you put it in there cold, right into any kind of heat, the meat's going to seize up. And then it'll become dry and it'll become tough. So that's why you'll see a lot of cooks, they'll wait, let their meat sit out and come to room temperature, or at least give it time to take that chill off of it. So that's what I'm doing here. Or that's what I've done here. So we're going to go ahead and let this meat cook, saute up. I may add a few more of the same seasonings, you know, the garlic, the onion, and then again, I probably will just leave it cook, and then I'll add all those seasonings in with the sauce. So, but if I add anything, I'll let you know. But right now, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to let this cook. I got my water boiling. I'll drop the noodles in when that comes up to a boil. And of course, you guys know, I add a good palmful of salt to my water, because you want your water salty enough that it tastes like the sea when you're cooking pasta. Okay, because that's your only chance to season that pasta. So that's where we are now. I'm going to wait and bring all that back up. I've cleaned up my kitchen a little bit. And that's what I do. As I cook, I clean so that I don't have a big mess. When I'm done cooking, the only thing I have left to clean up are the dishes or the skillet, pots, and pan that I was using. Actually, I'll tell you what I am going to do, though. I'll bring you back on camera in just a bit. I'm going to go over to the other side of my counter here. And what we'll do is we will make our cheese sauce and go ahead and get that done and out the way. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, here we are back at the other counter here, and I'm just going to make a cheese sauce that I use for my baked ziti. It is so delicious, guys. Got some ricotta. This is a 15-ounce container of the ricotta, and I'm going to use, you know, I'll let you know here in just a bit, because I really don't use measurements. I'll go back and taste it and see what I'm looking at. So right now I've started out with, you know, about half of the container, if you guys can see down in there. It's about what I've got in there now. This is cottage cheese, and it's just the small curds. And this one is a 16-ounce. And I'll probably go, again, half. You know, yep. Just about half of that container, you know, about half of that. I'll go ahead and mix this up. And then, now I can look at it already and tell I'm going to go more than that. I'm definitely going to go more than that. This is sour cream, and sour cream is just an additive. So, you know, that's a really good tablespoon dollop. Just a good tablespoon dollop. And that's, you know, I'm going to stop right there with that. I'll let you know if I come back in with more. But the real star here is the ricotta and the cottage cheese. Alrighty. There we go. And yeah, I'm definitely going in with more because I want more cheese sauce than this. And this is just going to go in between the layers of another good, you know, another good tablespoon, just my little tablespoon here. A nice little dollop of the cottage cheese. Get those blended up nicely. Now you don't want to overwork these, you know, they are cheeses. They're going to melt, you know, in the refrigerator, so I try not to overwork them too much, but you do want them to blend, okay? And then I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. You know, you want to flavor it. Flavor every level, every layer of your dish. Onion powder. And as you see, guys, I'm not measuring, but I'm not adding salt. But I am going to add some pepper. I'm just stirring my meat over here. All right, give that a good stir. The water is almost to a good boil. And then we'll get that pasta dropped. And this, of course, again, is my Peppercorn Medley. I am in love with this. I'm telling you, regular salt and pepper, guys, you're fine. Or, you know, regular salt and pepper, for any of your dishes. I'm just using this because I have it and I like it. Okay? And don't go shy on the pepper. You know, cheese dishes love pepper. Don't go shy on it. You're fine. Go ahead and put it in there. All right. Give it a little mix. Nice little mix there. And then I'm going to come in with our cheeses. This is all the shredded cheese I had. Okay, I'm going to put some of that Colby Jack on there. And put a little bit of all of them in there. Okay, and then some is off. Some is definitely going to go at the inside of the dish. But we want some in this here. And I'm, as you guys can see, I'm not measuring. I'm just putting some in. What I have on this plate is each one of these were 8-ounce blocks that I shredded. Okay? And I'm going to end up using all that cheese. Every bit of it. If I don't, you'll see. But my plan pretty much is to use all of this cheese. You know, my baked ziti is cheese, pasta, and meat sauce. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead now. We're going to give this a taste. See if we like it. Mm-hmm. That's good. But you know what? I am going to give it just a little bit of salt. But it's good. That's just a couple of shakes, okay? That's all, just a couple of shakes. I think I'm happy with that amount. I think we're going to be good. Huh? I don't know. I got quite a bit over here. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Okay. That's it. I think we should be happy with that amount right there. We should be pretty happy with that amount. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit more cheese in there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. And actually, guys, you know what? I'll take that back. I did not grade the entire block of all three of those. I'm going to show you how much I left on each of those blocks. Okay. Now remember I said each of those blocks were 8-ounce blocks. This is what's left from an 8-ounce block. It's just a little more than half is what I took and grated up. So that's what's left of it. Okay. And I forgot I did that because I'm going to add some Munster cheese in between the layers, and you'll see that. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to add an egg to this, which I don't normally do. So tonight I'm trying something new with you guys. I don't normally put an egg in my cheese sauce here that I put in my baked ziti. But I wanted to try doing that just because the egg, what it does is it acts like a binder and it really holds everything in. And so I just wanted to give it a try and see how that works. So I'm going to give it a try tonight and see just how I like that. I'll be back. I'm going to beat up the egg and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I put that in there. Get those blended up nicely. Now, you don't want to overwork these. You know, they are cheeses. They're going to melt, you know, in the refrigerator. So I try not to overwork them too much, but you do want them to blend. Okay? And then I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. You know, you want to flavor it. Flavor every level, every layer of your dish. Onion powder. And as you see, guys, I'm not measuring, but I'm not adding salt. But I am going to add some pepper. I'm just stirring my meat over here. All right, give that a good stir. The water is almost to a good boil. And then we'll get that pasta dropped. And this, of course, again, is my Peppercorn Medley. I am in love with this. I'm telling you, regular salt and pepper, guys, you're fine. Or, you know, regular salt and pepper. For any of your dishes, I'm just using this because I have it and I like it. Okay? And don't go shy on the pepper. You know, cheese dishes love pepper. Don't go shy on it. You're fine. Go ahead and put it in there. All right. Give it a little mix. Nice little mix there. And then I'm going to come in with our cheeses. This is all the shredded cheese I had. Okay, I'm going to put some of that Colby Jack on there. And put a little bit of all of them in there. Okay, and then some is off. Some is definitely going to go at the inside of the dish. But we want some in this here. And I'm, as you guys can see, I'm not measuring. I'm just putting some in. What I have on this plate is each one of these were 8-ounce blocks that I shredded. Okay? And I'm going to end up using all that cheese. Every bit of it. If I don't, you'll see. But my plan pretty much is to use all of this cheese. You know, my baked ziti is cheese, pasta, and meat sauce. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to give this a taste. See if we like it. Mm-hmm. That's good. But you know what? I am going to give it just a little bit of salt. But it's good. That's just a couple of shakes, okay? That's all, just a couple of shakes. I think I'm happy with that amount. I think we're going to be good. I don't know. I got quite a bit over here. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Okay. That's it. I think we should be happy with that amount right there. We should be pretty happy with that amount. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit more cheese in there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, guys, I wanted to bring you back real quick and show you, if you can look at, I don't know if you can tell the color change on my sauce or not, on my cheese sauce. But what I did is I put just a dash of this sazion down in there. So that's what changed it a little bit. The color, texture. I haven't added the egg yet. But that sazion, and I do mean teaspoon, is about what I put in here. It changed that flavor profile beautifully. I'm in love with this sauce right now. Again, first time I've ever added sazion to it also. So we're doing some first things here tonight. And that's what I love about cooking. I told you, cooking is an art. It's not necessarily a science, it's an art. You get in there and you just have fun, okay? I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. Oh, unfocused for a little bit, I'm not sure why. Hopefully that'll focus back in. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator and then I'll meet you over here because it's time to add the sauce to the meat. We're gonna do that. And then when I'm ready to use this, I'll put the egg in there. I'm not going to put the egg in there just yet. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator to keep it cold though. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, here we are back at the meat. As you can see, it is cooked up just beautifully, beautifully. And I did my best to kind of chop it down into little pieces because, you know, we're making a spaghetti sauce here, or a pasta sauce. So don't really want big chunks of meat. I've got the pasta down here. It's been dropped in. Just give it a nice little stir. so it doesn't stick. Actually, I'm gonna go in with something a little bit stronger. There we go. Give it a nice whirl so it doesn't stick on us. And I dropped the whole pound. I may or may not use that entire pound. We'll see how that goes. And I'm gonna cook this. Typically you wanna cook your pasta about 11 minutes. Gives you that perfectly al dente pasta. We're gonna go about 8 to 9 minutes, just getting it soft. Because again, it's gonna cook again in the oven. So we don't wanna overcook it. Yeah, this is so ready. This is beautiful, y'all. Just beautiful. And look at this. I don't know if you can tell. It's in my cast iron skillet here, so that handle is hot. Well, let me show you here, guys. There is no oil. I have not drained it. There's no oil. Because this is ground turkey. Okay, 99% of the time when you see me make any kind of dish like this, it's going to be ground turkey. Occasionally, I will use ground beef, but not often. But you can absolutely substitute ground beef, ground turkey, sausage if you would like, for your meat and make this dish the same way. And you know what? When I said sausage, I'm thinking, ooh, I may have to do that. I got a little browning right here. This is not a whole lot of seasoning. It gives you, I mean, a little teeny flavor, nothing to write home about, okay? But what it does is it tricks the eye. For those who, you know, would prefer a ground beef to a ground turkey, this just tricks the eye. It goes ahead and it will give your meat that dark color, so if it looks like it's ground beef. That's it, okay? Browning is really good for gravies. It'll give your gravy that color you're looking for. So I will sometimes use browning, and it has a little bit of a flavor. Not a strong one, but it does have a little bit of a flavor. But I'll use it sometimes just for coloring in my turkey dishes, you know, dishes like this here. And therefore, now you look like you've got some ground beef. All right. Okay. That is absolutely perfect. And let that browning cook in there just for a little bit to really coat the meat, because I don't want it to come off too much into my sauce. But it's also going to darken my sauce, because if you notice, because this is homemade sauce, it's not as deep red as you would get from a jar. And it's because it's homemade. But I'll tell you, if you have not checked out my video for how I make my red sauce, please go look that video up. It was a lot of fun. And just, this is delicious. You cannot get these flavors out of a jar, y'all. And it is quick, it's easy, it's simple, and you know exactly what's in it and what you're feeding to your family. And I know that that is just as important to you like it is to me. All right, let's go ahead and drop this sauce in here. I've got 4 containers from this batch that I made. I want to say, yeah, there is one thing that I added to this batch that I'm using tonight that I did not use in the batch that I made for the video. And that is mushrooms. I had mushrooms in this one. And this is a chunky sauce, so all the vegetables that I roasted and I blended to make this sauce, I also left some of those vegetables whole. Well, not whole, but I didn't blend them. And so I cut them up. So if you've ever bought like a garden chunky sauce from the store, that's exactly what this is, but it's homemade, okay? And I was wondering if maybe I was going to need a second one to use in this, but no, this is perfect amount of sauce right here. Just perfect. One thing I am going to grab though is my tomato paste. I do want to put a little paste in here. And normally I would put my paste on my meat before I put the sauce in, but that's okay. Because cooking is an art and not a science, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, I'm gonna go grab my paste. I'll be right back. All right. And I love this tomato paste in a tube like this. Because, you know, you buy those little cans, and I've bought them and, you know, end up not using the whole thing. And I put them aside, you know, in little dishes or a baggie or something to use later. And that's, you know, a few squirts. That's probably a tablespoon at the most, maybe even just a teaspoon. It's not a lot. But, you know, I would end up throwing away a lot of it, and, you know, waste is just not okay with me. So I finally found this tube, and I just love it because now I use what I need when I need it. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to start putting some seasoning in here, but I want to taste it first. So before I start seasoning it up, I'm going to let it meld together a little bit. Get that sauce heated up because that sauce was still cold. It's been in the refrigerator. So get it heated up. Let it start mixing with the flavors that's in the meat and the flavors that are in the sauce already. And then I'll give it a taste. And then we'll start adding our seasoning. So by that time, I will probably go ahead and get these noodles taken out, get them drained and set aside, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, we're back, and I've got my noodles out. They're in the sink in a colander, draining. I ran some cold water over them to stop the cooking process, because I don't want them cooking anymore because they're going to go in the oven. Okay, I've got the sauce here. I've tasted it. It tastes good. But now it's time to season this rascal up, okay? I also reserved just a little bit of the pasta water. I always do that. If I need to thin my sauce out a little bit, I want to do it with that pasta water, because pasta water will act like a binding agent, binding your sauce to your pasta, because it's a starchy water. So you want to do that. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to put some, and I'm not measuring, guys, so take a look at how I'm doing it here. I just don't measure, okay? I'll just put some in here. This is chili powder, okay? This is paprika. Alrighty. I'll tell you, the only seasoning you gotta be afraid of is the one with salt. If it has salt in it, then you want to be careful with that. This is obey. Okay, a little bit of obey. I'm not gonna put a lot of obey because obey has a little bit of salt. It's not a high salt content, but it does have some. But this is garlic powder. Okay, I'm very liberal with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish that off. There we go. But the obey, it also has quite a little bit of a kick to it. And so I've mentioned so many times before, this is onion powder. My family is not big on heat. You know, they're good with spice and the flavors and stuff, but not heat. So I try to make sure I control the heat for them. I like the heat, so I'll make sure there's a little bit of heat in there. But if I want it hotter, I'll just add, you know, hot sauce or something like that to my own dish. This is basil leaves. All of these spices and herbs that I'm putting in here now are those things that you will find in a spaghetti sauce, you know, for your baked zitties or for your lasagna. Okay, this is oregano. Alrighty, let's go ahead and give this a whirl here. The oregano, I respect oregano. I am not a real big fan of oregano, but it goes well in your red sauce, you know, for spaghetti, lasagna, and things like that. It really does complement this red sauce very well. So I will use it, but I do respect it. I won't use a whole lot of it. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of pepper down in there. And I don't think I put any cumin. I'm going to put some cumin in there. Cumin, guys, if you're not familiar with cumin and its best friend, coriander, they are a little on the fruity, floral type of spice. Very popular in Indian flavors and dishes. Really good in any type of red sauce or, you know, just meat in general, really. I love those two together. They just smell phenomenal. So if you're not familiar with those, go ahead and give them a try, because they will not hurt your dish. They don't overpower. They just complement your dishes so beautifully. All right, I'm going to let this simmer for about a minute or two. I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of this pasta water, though. Just a little bit. I don't want to put too much in there, because this is not a sauce that you want to be runny. You want this thick. You want this to stick to your noodles, okay? So that's why it's kind of thick like that. You want it thick like that, okay? All right. I'm going to let this go for just a little bit. Let those flavors marry up. I'll come back and I'll taste it again. And then we will build ourselves a baked ziti. I'll be back. All right, guys, we're back. And what I've done, our meat sauce is completely done. And I've transferred it into the pot that I had the pasta cooking in. And I've got the pasta sitting over here in the colander where I've drained it at. And so what I'm going to do now is add the pasta to the sauce. And my hands are clean, so I'm going to go ahead and use my hands. Our God-given tools is exactly what we need sometimes. Works better than anything else. Let's go ahead and put that in here. And I'm adding the pasta to the sauce because I want to use every bit of this sauce, but I may have more pasta than I can use for the sauce, because I want this nice and saucy, okay? We ain't making no dry ziti. Not in Mama Angel's kitchen. We ain't having no dry ziti, okay? This is gonna be saucy, cheesy, delicious, y'all. Delicious. So that's why I do it this way. Okay, I add the pasta. And no worries, if I don't use all of that pasta, trust me, it will not go to waste. I'll make another dish with it. And then my granddaughter likes her pasta with just butter, salt, pepper, put a little Parmesan cheese on it, and she has a meal. She loves it just like that. So usually anytime I make a pasta dish, I keep her some pasta out just so she can have it just like that. Whether I need all the pasta or not, I always keep some out for her. And if you can kind of see down in there, I'm getting Getting close to where I want to be. Like I said, I want this saucy. We do not want this to be dry. And I am a little over halfway of that pound of pasta. So I think I'm about ready to stop. Okay. Yep, that's about it. We're about ready to stop there. I like it. Just like that, y'all. That looks good. That looks real good. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and get it all cheesed up. Now I've got my oven preheated to 350. It's going to go in the oven just until the cheese is hot and bubbly. It'll take about 35, 40 minutes. I'll let you know exactly when it comes out. All right, I'm going to transfer over to my counter because there's just more room over there. And I'm going to show you how we build the ziti. All right, be back. I believe a 9 by 11 inch baking dish. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I've had this thing for so long, but I think it's a 9 by 11. But any old baking dish will do. All right, I'm just going to put a layer of the sauce and noodles down. And guys, I decided that I didn't want to put egg in my cheese sauce. I didn't want to do it. Maybe one day I will. I just know how delicious it is without. And so I'm going to stay with what I know, okay? Got a nice layer of the pasta with the meat sauce right here. Beautiful layer. All right, let's go in with a layer of our cheese sauce. Okay, and it's just dollops. I just go in with some dollops here. Now I'm gonna make this cheesy. Yes, I am. It's cheesy, it's delicious, it's gooey. Oh my goodness, y'all. It is so good. All right. Let's go in with some of our shredded cheese. Now, I don't want to do a whole lot of this shredded cheese because a lot of this is going to go on the top. Okay? Especially that, oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. The mozzarella. That nice pulled cheese. I want that mozzarella on top. So, what I've done, I think I'm just going to leave the rest of this for my top. And that's where the Munster cheese comes in. I've got just some deli sliced Munster cheese. Another really, really, really yummy. Lay it right on top there. This is a fantastic melting cheese with a nice pull to it. Just like your provolone or your mozzarella. This is a beautiful pulling cheese. It melts divinely. Okay, I'm going to tear that one in half. I don't think I want. All right, just like this. All right, and then you know it. We go in with another layer, just like this. Okay. There we go. Okay. May have made that bottom layer thicker than I intended to. But again, you know, we're going to work it out. It is going to work out just fine. I did. I made that bottom layer a little thicker than I wanted to because I've got more cheese sauce here to work with. And I'm going to work with it too. I'm not going to let it go. So this is what we're going to do. Rinse my fingers off. probably won't use it all. I'll save this for something else, which is good that I don't have the egg in it, because it'll work. I won't put as much. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Beautiful. Well, you know what? We're going to make it work. There we go. So I say, you know, I can see myself using this in even a macaroni and cheese dish. Especially when I make my hamburger helper, whatever you call it, you know, like a cheese chili mac, you know, that hamburger helper dish that was so popular when we were younger. That's it. I'm just going to go ahead and put this right on top. But anyway, I make that dish. I make it homemade. Just make my macaroni and cheese, homemade macaroni and cheese. I use, of course, ground turkey. And I put that, you know, together and just make a beautiful, you know, hamburger helper. Cheeseburger, hamburger helper. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's delicious. So I can see me using a cheese sauce like that on there. All right, let's go ahead and get this all smoothed out. Yep, that's okay. We're gonna make it all work. Yes, we are. Look at that, y'all. It's gonna be cheesy. It's gonna be gooey. It's gonna be delicious. So yeah, you know, put less on your first layer. I got heavy-handed on my first layer, so I'm a little slighted on my top layer. But you know, it all comes together, guys. Don't stress in this kitchen, because I don't. All right, the food is going to be amazing. It's going to be delicious. Okay, now let's go in with that cheese on top here. I'm going to mix it all together so I don't have just mozzarella on one side and Colby Jack on another and pepper jack on another. It's all mixed up there. And then let's just come on down here like this. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo. Oh yeah, y'all. This what I'm talking about right here. This is comfort food at its best with a little bit of a healthy twist. All right? All right, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just like that. Just like that. See that? That's beautiful. Going in the oven, 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how long it took. And all I'm doing, because everything is cooked. There's nothing that has to cook here. All we're doing is getting this cheese melted, bubbly, get a little brownness on top here. I am going to set it on a baking sheet like this here to protect my oven. All right, into the oven we go. I'll see you when it comes out. All right, guys, here we go. This rascal is out of the oven and it is beautiful. It took 40 minutes to cook, and then I let it rest for about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right down into there. And let's see what it looked like. Then I'm gonna go in right here. Probably should have taken my thumbnail of this, but I may be able to get a still picture. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'll definitely get a thumbnail of this right here. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's, I told you, it's gooey. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Oh man, y'all, can y'all see down in there? Look at that, and it's still hot. So once it sets up, oh, look at that. Look at that. Can you see down in there? Look at that. That gooiness. Oh my word, y'all. I cannot wait to give this a try. All right, I'm gonna take me a thumbnail picture and then I'm gonna give this a taste for you. Be right back. Okay, guys, here we go. That is beautiful. You see that? Oh my word. All that gooiness right there. That's calling my name. But then I also love how it just crisp. It's nice and crispy on the top. I think that's where I'm going first. I want that crispiness right there. Oh my goodness. Look at that, y'all. You got the cheese. Ooh, look at that. You got a good picture on that? Give that a try. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh man. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, y'all. And I'll tell you what. You do not have to have homemade red sauce in order to make this dish, okay? Just get your favorite pasta sauce from the store or whatever is on sale and just go ahead and add your seasonings to it and make it taste the way that you enjoy. Just use the seasonings that I showed you tonight, add it to a jarred pasta sauce. You've got amazing sauce. It does not have to be homemade. I show you homemade because homemade is always going to be better. Better for you, better to you. But you do not have to do homemade, okay? I use jarred pasta sauces all the time. All right, and I'm going here for some of this gooiness right here because this is where it is right here, y'all. This is so good. And I did not use that egg. I don't miss it because it's just so good, just like this. Look at this. Do you see that cheese ball? Do you see that? Oh my goodness, y'all. Try that. Try that. Oh, I gotta catch it. Oh man. It's saucy, it's cheesy. It is absolutely delicious. All I need on the side of this, y'all, truly, maybe some lemonade, but a nice fresh garden salad. Simple lettuce, tomato, cucumber, a nice vinaigrette salad dressing, and you have a full, complete, delicious meal. All right, y'all, I hope y'all give this a try. Let me know if you did in the comment section below. All right, as always, guys, if you like this one, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so we can get up there to that 100 subscribers and do this fun event that I'm still sitting on. So excited to get done for you guys. Keep spreading the word. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everybody out there about the delicious food that's coming out of Mama Angel's kitchen. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Stay prayed up, and I'll see you in my next video.